The generation under us, I don't feel like they was like that for real. I feel like they just thought that shit was cool to do. And it just fucked them up. Like, you feel me? Like, a lot of these kids, they still had the potential to play sports and do all this shit. And they like, no, hell no, I want to be like Keith. I want to be like her. The social media aspect of it, like, they have pressure to do it. So now it's like, if you ain't got no gun or you a lame or you a bitch, you feel me? Like, it wasn't like that with us, gang. Like, it was real street niggas from our hood that didn't even carry a gun. Cause they was just players. Like, niggas that just fuck with the bitches, but they real street niggas, they know how to fight. It's niggas who trap, who just sold drugs to take care of their family and didn't play with guns. But that didn't mean they was no bitch ass niggas or they was the niggas that you play with, you feel me? Cause the nigga will resort to that. But now they force this next generation to have to carry a gun. Like, now everybody is 30 niggas from the neighborhood, all with switches and they shooting them. Like, when we was gang banging, you knew what niggas was like that. You feel me? Cause it was only a handful of niggas that was like that. Now everybody like that now. You feel what I'm saying? Because they forcing their hand to do that. Like, oh yeah, you ain't no shit. You ain't sliding. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. But it's like, it was never like that when we was in the streets. You feel me?
Like, I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro. I've been saying this forever, but I just needed a little clarification.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. This thing with G Herbo is like interesting because I was watching Shannon Sharp's podcast today with Ali Sadiq, and he spoke about this also, where people are just choosing a street lifestyle when they don't have to, and at a young age or whatever, and it's unnecessary. And I'm saying, like, sometimes people jump in and realize, nah, this ain't for me, and they jump out. I get it, you know. But I was working, and sometimes when I get off work, not necessarily when I get off, but sometimes when I'm working, these kids are getting out of school, and I'm in the burbs, and I see these kids like doing the most to be looked at as thugs. You get what I'm saying? Just mean mugging people, just mean mugging cars and traffic, just throwing up signs, just doing way too much. And I'm like, you're in the burbs, what are you doing? But then I thought about it, like when I was younger, like I knew a lot of kids who pretty much the vast majority of the guys I knew was in gangs. I was one of the few that wasn't in a gang. But the vast majority of them guys, they wasn't like that. They were just, they were scary, so they got in the gang. They wanted to feel tough, so they got in the gang. It was just stupid stuff, right? Excuse me. But it's the same thing now, where I see these kids, these young men just wanting to be thugs, and it's like, for what? Like really, for what? Like, what are you? What is the goal of this? You want to be in a good situation and make it bad? Like, I don't understand. Um, and then I thought about, like, we talking about like peer pressure. Like, I don't think they realize all of the ups and downs that happens. They don't realize, like, you might think that's exciting and fun because you heard it in a song or somebody made you feel like it's exciting. And let me back up. One of the things I gotta say is this, and y'all gotta stop paying attention to older people or young adults who are trying to sell you the thug story, because they ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people who are living the street life, they don't want other people in their life, and it wasn't just, as Ali Sadiq was talking about, it wasn't just people. If you was athletes, you got to pass. If you was just doing good stuff, you got to pass. Like, you got to stay out of this. You can't do this. But now it's like some of y'all, um, y'all really crashing out because y'all don't want to work, And what I mean is, and I seen this when I was younger too, they were people who were talented, but they didn't have the discipline to work, to have a work ethic. So let me just go ahead and, get on this gangster stuff. Cause I really don't, I gotta be at practice. I gotta be in a weight room. I gotta do extra. I gotta study. Coaches on me. I just, let me just, the streets love me. And it's like, no, they don't. The streets don't love you. You just gave up your dream because you were lazy. That's literally what happened. And you see that, to me, I see that nowadays with these kids, you really don't really believe in yourself like that. So you run to the thug idea. You know, some of y'all might want to be doctors, lawyers. Just it doesn't have to be athletes, but you don't believe in yourself. You don't think you're talented enough to do it. So let me just throw it all away. And it's like, why? And you then you realize that's not what you was thinking about after the fact, and that's a problem. It's a major problem. You got a doggone fly. Um, One of the other things that just needs to be said. Don't throw your family under the bus because you trying to be a street boss. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, because a lot of y'all are spoiled, and that also leads to that I'm gonna be a thug thing. A lot of y'all just spoiled, and you want to have an adversity story, so you throw yourself in the mix unnecessarily to act like you've been through something, and it doesn't count the same. It doesn't count when you put yourself in a bad situation purposely. Like that's not how they go. That's not adversity. That's self-sabotage. It's different. But how can I say this? One of the major things um, is fantasy. Like, a lot of y'all are living in fantasy land because a lot of y'all, especially in the burbs, a lot of y'all want to be hood so bad, but you don't never really want to be in the hood. You just want to have like a suburban fantasy of how hood you could be, and you out here trying to prove it to people. And let me explain this to you. If somebody people don't care about you if you got to prove to them how hood you are and you're not from the hood. They're just using you as a crash dummy. They don't care that if you really like that or not, or trying to be like that. They just look at you as a sucker. And a lot of y'all keep falling for it. And that's how you wind up in these situations. But for me, I'm gonna leave it at that. Because a lot of this is unnecessary. And a lot of times it's a waste of time. And before I go, I'll say this. One of the reasons why I say it's a waste of time is because if you're doing this when you're young, that's the time you should be using to put yourself in a position to be a productive, self-sufficient adult. And if you're not working on that, and you're working on this, trying to be street, then you're really not working on anything, you know. And then y'all figure out it ain't really no money in the streets. It ain't really the life you want to live. And you don't want to figure that out too late. But I'm done, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.